It is Monday, February the 23rd. And yes, we are buried under what it feels like 2 feet of snow again. It's cold, it's windy, it's snowy. I can't stand winter anymore. There's 18 more feet coming this week and negative 55-degree wind chills probably. But it's okay because it's Monday. It's time to talk some sports. Kick back, relax, because another fun filled episode of Unbiased starts right now. And welcome back, everybody, back to another episode of Unbiased, only here on the great 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming to you guys live from a windy, chilly, snowy Hamilton, New Jersey. And of course, you guys know this is the show that comes to unite some fans, ignite some debate, have some fun, just
Occasionally
do what we
ignite
do.
fans.
Yeah, sometimes we ignite ourselves. With the way it is outside, I like to ignite myself right about now. But anyway, that's another that's another topic for another day. So look, we'll get into some NBA talk later in the show. Apparently, there's some tanking rules coming next season. We'll talk about that. We'll get into some Eastern Conference talk this week. Last week, we talked about OKC and who do we think was the biggest competition to them. But you know what, Tyler? We're going to start the show off a little different this week. We are actually going to bring up some stuff that we usually don't talk about. But before we do that, Mr. Adams, how are we doing today?
Oh, we're doing good today. You know, aside from all of the snow and the lovely shoveling throughout the day, here we are, ready
Here
for
we are.
Unbiased.
Let me ask you this when it comes to snow shoveling. Are you a salter?
If I have it.
Smart man. Me, I loaded up last week. I had the last snowstorm, 50-pound bag, going in a day. That's what happens when you have a house with a big front yard, okay? But yeah, I'm a salt guy. I'm not saying, oh, the sun will melt what's left. No, because if the sun doesn't melt it, then Uncle Sam's going down. He's going down quicker than Joel Embiid on a bad knee. But look, we're going to kick off with something because this past weekend was an awesome weekend for USA, and especially for the Winter Olympics, but especially USA hockey, as both the men's and women's Olympic teams captured the gold medal, beating Canada in both games 2-1 in overtime. Now, the women's game, unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of. I missed the entire thing. But the men's game, I was able to catch a little bit at work because, of course, we have to play a hockey game at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. But awesome game. Absolutely tremendous game. Now, Tyler, you're not a hockey guy.
Not at all.
And we get that. Trust me. You have made it very specific on this show. Hockey and you, no bueno. But just for the moment itself, for that moment for the USA and the Olympics and all that magnitude that comes into those moments, what were you like? You did say that you did turn it on for a split second.
I did.
Could you describe a little bit of that feeling? Just like, what does it mean for that kind of a situation?
The main part for me tuning in toward the end of that game is I know how much of a rivalry it is between the U.S. and Canada in hockey. As far as, overall, who's the best in the world. Figured, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I saw it was a tied game. I was like, all right, this could be exciting. And it was pretty interesting what I was able to catch. And it was a great moment in overtime. when they got the what do they call it in hockey? Is it called a counter?
What?
When you take the puck away from the other team and go attack, is it called a counter? I feel like it's called something different in every different sport.
It's just called a steal.
It's just a steal.
Yeah, you just steal it, basically.
But yeah. And from that, I mean, it just kind of felt like in the moment that was going to be their moment where they won that game. And they did. It was a big celebration. Definitely seemed like an exciting moment for U.S. hockey. Again, don't know much about hockey. Not a fan. Still not interested in becoming a fan. Sorry, anybody who's fans of hockey. But the moment was nice.
I mean, it was the first time that the U.S. captured gold in men's hockey, at least, since 1980. That's a very long freaking time ago.
It is. And correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they usually like they're in the race for it, but they usually finish like second or third?
To who they just beat yesterday. It's always Canada or the U.S. almost. Georgie, what's up, brother?
What's going on, George?
George, I think we're getting a taste of the Ohio winters over here now. You guys want some of this snow back? We're kind of over it. At least I'm over it. I'm tired of looking at it. It's so nice. It's so nice for.
Where's that damn groundhog?
Yeah, I gotta have a word with a groundhog. I'm telling you that right freaking now. I gotta have a word. We need to find this groundhog, and we need to have a word because I am annoyed.
We're putting him on a tri-state trial.
I want to put him on the tri-state. I want to put him on the Guard State Parkway. And just what happens.
Whoa.
Yeah, George, Sweden does always seem to be right there in third. No, George, we don't want to keep it. We want to give it back. We're givers in New Jersey. We want to give back. So you guys can have your scrap back. I'm tired of looking at it.
Yep, please take it. Put it back into the lake. Give it to the Great Lakes. Get it away from us.
Give it to the Great Lakes. But yeah, like we said, first gold medal for U.S. men's hockey since 1980. Of course, George was still. George, how old were you back then?
Oh, no, we're starting already.
Like mid-70s, maybe, I'm thinking. Tune into DA After Dark tomorrow to watch George completely rip me to shreds. But I think George is around his 70s when the last time the U.S. won gold. Oh, George, that groundhog is going to be found all right by me. I'm tired of that groundhog. We're going to have a very nice word, me and him. But then we can agree on something. Jack Hughes, that will go down as one of the greatest moments in the history of hockey, especially USA hockey. I mean, gets the steal. George, you got to add a 0 to that. Remember, every decade adds 10 years, so you got to put a 0 on the end of that. But anyway,
the dog years.
Basically, hey, you said it, not me. But no, Jack Hughes easily is going to go down as that. It's going to go down in history. I mean, that's going to be one of the greatest moments in the history of USA hockey. George, this is a children's show. We cannot post that on the comments. So no, this is a PG show. I save all the non-PG stuff
George,
for DA After Dark.
I'm not going to let Sam trash you and then refuse to pin your comment.
Nah, we're good. George knows I love him. But the absolute... at first, I mean, you watch the goal. I couldn't even tell that it went in.
Yeah. That's the other thing with hockey. I never know when it goes in the net.
Well, there was something a while ago that they experimented with like a laser on the puck so you could follow it better, but they went away with it. But, like, you had to go by the reactions of the USA players.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, by the way, also, I want to bring this photo up real quick of the USA hockey, of the men's team. I mean, this has got to be one of the most heartfelt things. This tugs at the heartstrings. In case anybody who's not familiar with hockey, we all know the situation that happened with Johnny Gaudreau and his brother passing away. Johnny Gaudreau, of course, was a staple of USA hockey, and It's just an awesome. They had his jersey in their locker room throughout the entire Olympic tournament. They, of course, skated his jersey around the rink after the game. And just in case anyone else doesn't know, those are Johnny Gaudreau's kids that they are holding. They brought them out on the ice as well. Johnny's family was at the game. So just a really awesome moment for the entire USA hockey team, and especially the Gaudreau family, because that situation is still tragic, and it's awesome to see them honor him. He was, like I said, staple of USA hockey. But USA had some big things go right for them in this tournament. Number one, their penalty kill. 18 for 18, I believe, was the number in the tournament. Do you know how hard it is to have a penalty kill of perfection in an Olympic tournament where every damn team has every best player you can think of? These are not NHL teams. These are all-star teams. Like, Team Canada is literally consistent of the best players in the NHL, as is the U.S. These are all-star teams going against each other. And not to mention the 5-on-3 penalty kill they had earlier in the game and held their own. That was a turning point in the game, in my opinion. Now, Team Canada actually, after that, really put their foot on the gas, and U.S. was, for a while, the USA was they were kind of struggling a little bit. It looked like Team Canada was taking over the game, but they were able to ride the ship, and 3-on-3 overtime, which I believe is still one of the best decisions in hockey. And for all the people saying that it doesn't matter and it doesn't count because 3-on-3 isn't hockey, grow up. But I thought honoring Johnny Gaudreau at the end of the game with his jersey, his kids. I thought the entire thing was awesome. And, of course, winning the gold is the best. But the unsung hero of this team, of course, we know the Hughes guys. Jack Hughes had the big winner in the gold medal game. Quinn Hughes had the big winner in the semifinal matchups. Connor Hellebuck. Don't ask me what kind of last name that is.
Sounds like a type of fish.
It sounds like a fish you find in Red Dead, but one of the greatest goaltending performances in hockey in general. The heck with, just the Olympics, the NHL. One of the best freaking performances we've ever seen. 41 saves on 42 shots. 2 or 3 breakaways from Connor McDavid, who, by the way, is one of the best players in the NHL. And, of course, none bigger than this one. I mean, look at this. If he doesn't make that stick save, that's game. USA scored early in the first period. They didn't score again until the Jack Hughes game winner. This would have been the game if he doesn't make that save. Just ultimately one of the greatest performances from a goaltender in the history of hockey. And I just wanted to come on for the first few minutes of the show and give all of our love to the men's and women's team. That game was awesome as well. The breakaway game winner from a defensewoman. Because, when you play defense in hockey, it's kind of like playing defenseman in soccer. You don't do much offensively.
Yeah.
Now, the league's kind of changing.
But again, there's 2 similarities between the 2 sports in that the team you're playing, they could have 12 shots on goal. And the score might be 1-1. It's all about the right opportunities that matter. You can have all the chances in the world, but if your defense is playing good and your goalkeeper's playing outstanding, I mean, that's just what can save the game for you right there to keep you in it until you get to that moment where you can get that other opportunity.
Which is why you say there's similarities between the sports, which is why I don't know why I can't get you into it. I don't get it, man. Why can't I get you why can I not get you to hockey?
Too much fighting. Reminds me of WWE.
That's different, though. The fighting in hockey is entertaining.
I don't get it. It's supposed to be a professional sport.
It's hockey. They fight.
They encourage fighting. So they can fight they can encourage fighting in the NFL, do they? No.
I mean, they don't do it.
They can encourage it in the NBA. That would actually be kind of funny, but do they do it? No. Imagine someone gets dunked on, and then the next second you see the guy come over and start swinging on the dude.
Some guys have done
we've
that
seen that happen already. The difference is they get suspended in the NBA. The NHL, you get put on Sports Center, and then that's it.
Oh my God. But no, we wanted to make sure that we came on here for at least the first few minutes of the show and give our congratulations to Team USA men's and women's hockey. Absolutely awesome. Bringing home the gold for the US. Is Cynthia referring to the fighting part?
Yeah.
It is.
She came across a couple of hockey fights on her feed.
She's not wrong, though. It is kind of fun. I mean, look, it doesn't happen every game. It's always, look, in hockey, you have 4 lines. Your top line is usually your best scorers and your best players. Second line, kind of the same thing. Third line, almost the same thing. The fourth line is full of goons, that we call them. In hockey, we call them goons. They're fighters. They're physical players.
Sorry, you're helping prove my point right now. Sam. You have a guy whose role is supposed to be basically almost like the bodyguard. Go beat someone up if we need you to.
Well, look, George is actually saying you make a good point. So this show's already off the rails.
Thank you, George.
You get 2 minutes for fighting. It's no big deal. It's awesome.
I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, Cynthia's saying she finds them on her feet. I mean, look, sometimes the fights are the best part of the game.
Yeah, they are. They are funny.
We got to get you into hockey. We are going to get you into hockey.
That's a big if.
You
might have a better chance to get me to watch golf.
Oh, now you're insulting the sport. You just insulted hockey. Well, hockey, I mean, clubs, sticks, puck, like it's a violent version of golf. There you go. Look, I'll make you the deal. You're never going to take a trip to Philadelphia. The new ECHL team is coming in trend. Why don't we go one night? We'll see if we can get you into it.
I'll probably take you up on that.
But if you don't like it, guess what? It's a 5-minute drive home. And hopefully they're as cheap as the Thunder used to be.
Oh, dear.
Hey, man. In this world, day and age, you got to do what you got to do. But no, we just wanted to make sure we came on here in the beginning of the show and gave our congratulations to Team USA. Absolutely awesome. Tyler, don't tell me there's any other Winter Olympics you want to talk about, because I can't think of any.
I mean, hey, the total of the United States, they brought home 33 medals, 12 golds, 12 silvers, 9 bronze. They weren't the best, though. Norway came out on top.
That is true.
But yeah, no, I can't. The only other sports I enjoy watching from the Winter Olympics are like some of the skiing events and snowboarding. That's really about it. Anything else?
I can agree with you on that.
Can't get into curling. Still don't know what it is.
I've always been more of a Summer Olympics guy, especially because of basketball. So,
oh yeah.
Good evening, Kaylee. We have Kaylee dying over here, so.
What's up, Kaylee?
And Cynthia wants to make sure that's known that if we do go to one of those hockey games, that she has to come. I think she forgets what the definition of a package deal means.
I think she's expecting to see a fight, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean, heck, I may get so tired of you one night, I just may text her and say, "Twin, we're going tonight. We're not bringing him.
Let's fight in the stands. We'll make that event newsworthy.
We'll start a fight in the stands." Mm-hmm. Tyler, here's the difference, though. If you start a fight in the stands, you don't go to the penalty box. You go to the penalty parking lot.
Hey, win-win. Get to go home early.
What is this show? This was supposed to be a 10.
This is what happens when you get Tyler talking about hockey.
I think this is what happens when I get Tyler talking about anything in general. My goodness, man. But anyway, shall we jump into some of our actual topics on tonight's show?
Let's do it.
All right. So look, we know the NFL offseason, it's creeping up on us, next week, March the 2nd, we're a week away from legal tampering, so we already know that's going to be an entertaining week. We're going to get back into the NFL probably next week a lot. We'll probably talk about some possibilities because by the time we come back on the 9th at 7 o'clock, we're already going to have a bunch of stuff kicked off. So I think next week's going to be more of the off-season preview show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some of the big names going around. Of course, there's some franchise tags that have already been signed off. I brought up a name for the Eagles on Birds of the Gridiron on Friday. That went out the door today. So, but we'll get into the NFL next week. We're going to stick to the NBA another week, and we're going to keep the NBA involved in the shows. It's just when the NFL offseason kicks off, it's a haymaker. And if we try to bring the NBA and the NFL together, I'll be here for 16 hours a night, and I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. We'll be putting on some 4-hour shows way past our bedtimes.
Oh, good Lord, George.
Oh, my George.
What's that line? What's that line that George Lopez in his show said to the old man? I think it's amongst the lines of keeping in your pants, Orville Redenbacher.
Oh, no.
We're getting kicked off the air tonight. Anyway. So we're going to jump into some NBA talk for the rest of the show. And we ran a poll question over the weekend. Who is the top contender in the Eastern Conference? Now, unlike the West, where I think a lot of us agree OKC is probably the majority of people's favorites to come out of the West, yeah. I think the Spurs could challenge them. I get concerned with the Spurs in terms of their experience. I don't know if the Rockets can. I love Kevin Durant. I love Şengün. I like Tari Eason and Jabari Smith. I don't like that Houston doesn't have a legit point guard. And then Denver's always hurt.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Gordon's still banged up. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to fare. Now, I think Denver, when healthy, I think if you're matching up everything I just said, but Denver has the experience over the Spurs, exactly. You can make the case.
Because they've been there and done that already.
Yeah, they both won something. So I think we're kind of in the midst that any of those three teams could do their damage against the Thunder. But now in the East, yes, I know there's one hands-down favorite record-wise, but that doesn't – just because you have the best record in a conference doesn't mean you're the best team.
Because we're talking about a 7-game series here. This isn't just any given night like some other sports where it's one-and-done games.
So we ran a poll question, and the question was, who is the top contender in the Eastern Conference? And the winner of that vote was 57% of the vote went to the Detroit Pistons, who are the top team in the East. 18% of the vote went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. 10% of the vote went to the Boston Celtics, who are currently the 2 seed. Another 13% went to the Knicks. And then we had two other options were the Toronto Raptors, who are 10 games over 500, actually enjoying a very good season. They did not get any votes, and we got no votes for the other section. And because, no offense, who really gives a crap about anything past the Toronto Raptors? Don't get me started with the 76ers, because if you want me to talk about the Sixers tonight, I will, and I will unleash mayhem on this show. So you want to see a vein pop out of my head, tune in a few minutes.
Oh, no.
So, Tyler, if you're looking at these teams matched up, we're talking, like you said, 7-game series, all that stuff. Pistons, Knicks, Cavs, Raptors, and the Celtics. Who do you think is your favorite in the Eastern Conference right now?
Sam, I already know my favorite. And I hate that they are my favorite and that they're still in this position. And I think you might know where I'm going with this. It's the Boston Celtics.
Okay, it's not the same as me.
I mean, if you were to tell me that losing Tatum for what seems to be the whole season, but now he might be able to come back and play later on.
What a miracle medicine is he taking?
That's another story for another day. To have the second best record in the East, 5.5 games behind the Pistons, without him, with an elevated play from Jaylen Brown, who I think he is the anchor of that team. Tatum's kind of their scoring star, but Jaylen Brown is the backbone of that team.
What have I always said? Jason Tatum is the most talented player on that team. Jaylen Brown to me is the most valuable player on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I'm sorry, I know Victor Wembanyama is an awesome story. This is the point I'm making again. Where would the 49ers have been without Christian McCaffrey? Well, where would the Celtics be without Jaylen Brown?
Honestly, less finals appearances.
They're barely a freaking 500 team without him.
I won't go that far. Because this is the Eastern Conference we're still talking about here.
Who on that team scares you outside of Jaylen Brown?
You really want to know, Sam? Damn, Peyton.
I only got. Yo, stop that dude! I watched some of that Lakers Celtics game last night. That dude put Jarrett Vanderbilt in a freaking blender. And hold on, by the way, there's some Tyler. Let's be real here. We both basketball players. We played the game for a long time, outside pickup games, official leagues. There are some unwritten rules, right? You cannot be no 6'8" defender, and you can't get crossed up and then ask for a foul. You can't do that. Jared Vanderbilt, what were you thinking, my guy? You are not allowed to do that.
His ankles got fouled.
That was filthy. And then he beats the buzzer at the half. Mike, the guy Peyton Pritchard is like what I wish the Sixers would have developed TJ McConnell into.
Yeah. And honestly, the question is, does Pritchard get as much playing time if Tatum doesn't get hurt?
No, he'd probably be coming off the bench.
Yeah, because, I mean, he was their sixth man coming off the bench for a while.
Yeah, he kind of took over that spot now that Derek White's a full-time starter, because Derek White had to become a starter because Drew Holiday got traded.
Exactly. So, like, both of these guys pushed into the starting lineup. They're the second and third leading scorers on the team behind Brown. They're scoring, Pritchard's scoring 17.6 and Derek White's scoring 17 a game. And they're each like 5.5 assists per game.
Not to mention they're 37 and 19, dude. Like, how?
This team, without Tatum, could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Really?
This team, with the prospect of maybe getting Tatum back towards the end of the season, they might win the East if they get him back.
Not to mention now you kind of got some scoring punch off the bench with Vucevic coming out there now. If you keep Peyton Pritchard on the bench, then those two together give you a decent little 1-2 there. By the way, if you can go look up a photo of Jordan Walsh, who is one of the Celtics players, please tell me he is not the default start of my career guy.
Oh my gosh.
When you create your my player, tell me that's not him.
That's the default skin before you customize.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that thinks that. And I'm not going to try
the generic shirt.
Oh, not the frequency vibrations generic shirt. And I'm not going to try to butcher their starting center's first name. But what about Queta?
Yeah,
9 points, 8 rebounds, 1.3 blocks. Like another guy that just has stepped up big time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like a traditional center almost. You know, he's pretty close to averaging a double-double with playing 25 minutes a game. But I mean, a huge impact definitely is Nikola Vucevic. I mean, there's 5 games there so far. He's almost averaging 12 points a game. I mean, as if they needed more help scoring, and then they
Yeah,
go
and I think a lot of that has to do with not knowing at the time when the deadline was Tatum going to be back, but it does seem to them they think that Tatum will be back soon.
I think they're expecting him to be back for the start of the playoffs.
I mean, he was down there working out with their G League team, and then he was coming up here rehabbing. Like, I think there is strong belief that he is going to be back.
Yeah,
But again, the question is what percentage and what Jason Tatum are we getting?
exactly. And is it worth the risk when your team's already playing so well? Is it worth the risk of bringing him back too soon and re-aggravating that? Because then you're going to have an even longer recovery.
Not to mention, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting Jason Tatum. He's a great player. He's an NBA champion for a freaking reason. Do you really want to risk the team chemistry this late into the season? It's not easy. This is what I said about with Giannis. This is
Yeah,
why I said teams to me weren't trading for him because they would have to flip their entire game plan over. I understand it's a little easier with a guy he's played with Jaylen Brown for a long time. He's played
yeah.
with Derek White. He's played with Peyton Pritchard. I get that. But still, it's a guy that you haven't had to integrate into your offense at all. So, like, is it worth jeopardizing the chemistry that they have? Not saying they couldn't do it.
Oh, it's a great point, and it's not a disrespect to him. I mean, it's a real thing. You know, he hasn't played with them all season, and obviously they have a winning formula right now. Now, obviously, he's an extremely talented player. You would want to find a way to bring him back to help the team if you can, but what does that affect elsewhere? Does that bump Pritchard to the bench, and then does that bring down his production?
Yeah, because I mean, to get Tatum back, someone's touches have to go down. It's going to be guys
Exactly.
like Pritchard, like
Mhm.
Derek White, and Dustin brings a good up here. He said that Tatum will probably sit until the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, but you got to
Yeah,
get there first.
yeah, but honestly, with how well they're playing, Sam, they might be able to make it to the conference finals without Tatum.
As long as Jaylen Brown keeps doing what he's doing, and yeah, I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. I mean, I'm telling you, Jaylen Brown isn't a guy. I'm sorry, I said this. He should be getting MVP consideration, not just votes, consideration.
Oh yeah, he should.
But saying this again, where would the Celtics be right now if Jason Tatum was hurt and they didn't have Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I remember when it was like a few years ago, we were talking about are the Celtics going to be able to give the max deal to Jaylen Brown after giving it to Tatum? And then I remember there was rumors about the Heat would swoop in and offer him a max deal, and I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
oh please.
Said I'm taking Pippen Jr. on my fantasy squad. My man can fight. Why are we
Oh,
back to fighting?
does he get extra points for fighting?
NBA should have just given him a basic foul. It was great for. Oh my god, we're back to the fighting talk here. Tune in next week.
Man,
George also put up something earlier that said Detroit and Cleveland would be a fun Eastern Conference Finals. And that's Dustin, you will get no argument from me in this regard.
no, not at all.
I mean, they're literally taking their teams to the top 2 seeds in the East. Now, if the MVP came out of the West, then good luck trying to figure who that would be.
Oh gosh.
But since George a second ago brought that up, I'm going to go over there to my side. That's my favorite in the East. I'm going with the Cavs.
Okay.
I said it the night we talked about the deadline. I just really love what James Harden brings to that team as a facilitator, as a playmaker, as a scorer, as a veteran, as a player who's more available to them than Darius Garland.
Yeah.
And I mean, Evan Mobley's finally back, getting healthy. They still have Jared Allen. Donovan Mitchell's having a great run in Cleveland. I love that everybody thought he was going to leave Cleveland after he got traded there and not signed back. And what a joke that looks to be now. Still, the Max Strus situation doesn't look good. A return is not imminent, so we are still. That looks like that's going to be a lost cause this year. But
yep.
Again, they got again, I even said it about them. Getting Harden was big, but getting Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder from Sacramento, and now they get to put all these guys together, with Dean Wade, who is somehow starting.
D Wade?
Jalen Tyson, who's had a really breakout year for them, even though he some reason only played 15 minutes against Oklahoma City. But Ellis gives you shooting off the bench, gives you a solid perimeter defender. I mean, just against OKC the other night, he had 9 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. Dennis Schroeder the other night in 22 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Just gives you a score off the bench. I just really like what this Cavs team can do. I still think they may be better off without Jared Allen. I think it would have been better to look to have unloaded him for a more traditional 4 and move Mobley to the 5. But either way, I still think with Mobley healthy, with Harden, with Mitchell, I still think the Cavs can easily come out of the East.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, it's very close. It was tough to pick a favorite. And I mean, to elaborate more on James Harden, I mean, the 6 games he started there, averaging almost 19 points a game and almost 9 assists a game. I mean, instant impact for them. Like you said, availability over Darius Garland. And I don't mind the Mobley Jared Allen dynamic. I think it's something that can be tough for a lot of teams to match up against. And that could be the difference maker for them. To not be traditional with a traditional 4 and your starting 5.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's hurting them whatsoever. I think the fit would be better with more floor spacing, and Jared Allen really does not bring you much of that.
Yeah.
And Dustin said, Pistons or Celtics are going to be in the NBA Finals. You can't trust Harden in the playoffs. That's also he's not lying there. I think the Pistons get it done, and they are getting healthy and will finish with the best record in the NBA.
So that's a loaded statement because I agree to an extent. What I would try to say in defense of it is that you don't have to rely on James Harden as much in the playoffs. He doesn't need to be outstanding. But then that hinges on Donovan Mitchell being phenomenal. But you can't always rely on him in the playoffs either. Because he's prone to his bad nights, high volume shots as well.
Yeah, because what I was going to go off of that and say was I was about to say that, maybe Harden is better, that he doesn't have to be the top guy, but we saw that fail in Philadelphia. We don't need to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll get on that crap in a minute. But yeah, that is something that concerns me still. But I just like this Cavs team for some reason.
Yeah, I really do. Basketball.
Now, we'll get to the Pistons, and I don't want to forget the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but I think another question here is where does this leave a team like the Knicks, who a lot of people thought were the hands-on favorite to come out of the East this year, and they're still playing well. I mean, Brunson's having another really good year. Nice going Mavericks. Bridges and Anunoby are still just being those 2 wing defenders. Josh Hart's grabbing 20 rebounds a night as a 6'5" guard. Cat's playing okay, I guess. I hate the fact that Jose Alvarado is such a good fit for them off the bench because the guy just plays defense and is a gritty defender and is a decent floor spacer too. So wait, where does this leave the Knicks? We really haven't talked about them yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a reason for it. I mean, like you said, they were supposed to be the favorite, No Tatum. Pacers were down without Halliburton. And then you kind of looked at like, okay, where's the competition? The Cavs. We were all shocked by the Pistons. No one knew the Pistons were going to be the 1 seed this year.
No, I don't think anybody expected that to happen.
They were making strides in the right direction, but no one expected this. So, yeah, the Knicks were supposed to be one of the favorites. Even more favored than the 76ers. I'm sorry. I don't want to trick you, Sam. I'm just being honest.
You expect the 76ers to be contenders. That's cute. That's cute. I really think that's cute.
Yeah, I should have probably used the use of contenders a bit more sparingly in regards to them. But what have the Knicks shown us over the last few years? Another team that chokes in the playoffs. Brunson can be amazing, play his heart out, and still fall short. I mean, like you said, Cat, he's been fine. I mean, 20 points per game, almost 12 rebounds a game, but that's kind of down from the scoring mark that we've usually seen him at. We usually see him around like the 24, 25.
But again, when you're around all those players like Brunson and Bridges and this is like I said, I did not like the Cat fit in New York from day one. I still don't. Yeah. I especially didn't like it when Thibodeau was there, and I still cannot believe. See, I think. Let me ask you this, because this is where I kind of lean with the Knicks. I feel like I would be more confident in the Knicks if they had Tom Thibodeau still. What has Mike Brown won that he continues to get jobs?
Couldn't tell you.
He is a good average coach, but he is not a coach. I'm not firing Tom Thibodeau, who got me to the best stretch of basketball that my franchise has seen since the first 2 years of Carmelo Anthony, which, oh my God, do you remember that old-ass team?
Yeah, horrible.
They were old, but they were annoying.
But Amari Stoudemire.
But that was cooked. Amari's knees were cooked by then. No, that was freaking, prime Melo, J.R. Smith winning six-man, Tyson Chandler, Defensive Player of the Year. That was a team.
Oh, yeah.
But that old man, Rasheed Wallace, off the bench that year, that was a team. I think Marcus Camby was on that team, too, if I'm remembering right.
He might have been.
But, I don't feel like going from Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown is an upgrade. I felt like it was a downgrade, and I still feel like it's a downgrade because I feel like Bickerstaff is a better coach than him in Detroit. I don't see it with the Knicks. I like them. I still don't like I still can't stand the Cat fit.
Dustin, he's another one. How does he continue to get employed?
Dustin, don't get me. Please don't do this, guys. You're poking a bear that doesn't need to be woke yet. Please don't do it.
Don't poke the bear.
And the bear's going to explode.
I would say, to leave it on a somewhat more positive note for the New York Knicks, the best thing they have going for them is the fact that they have what seems to be more ball distribution amongst their scorers. Yes, you have Brunson at the top, almost 27 points per game. But then you have Towns at 20, OG's about 16, Bridges almost 16, Miles McBride 13. I think they're 6-man off the bench. So they got different guys who can score, and I think that's beneficial because you don't have to worry about, okay, if my top guys are not playing well on any given night, we're screwed. At least you have fallback options.
Not to mention, they're also getting 10 points per game and 42% shooting from three from Landry Shamet.
Oh, man. I feel like he's been in the league forever.
Well, it's probably because he's been on 13 teams, so.
Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, he was drafted by the Sixers? That's right. Forgot about that.
Let's not bring that up. Please stop this. Why are you doing this?
Oh, man.
And, I mean, with the way Shamet and Jose Alvarado have played, I mean, Jordan Clarkson's getting DMP coaches' decisions. Clarkson was supposed to come over and be that guy off the bench. He has not been close to that.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he is 33. He's getting up there in age now, but still. This is a guy who's rated 6th man of the year at one point. But they were a terrible negative rating with him on the floor because defensively it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin said Mike Brown took the Kings to the playoffs a few years back, and the first time in more than a decade. That is an incredible coaching job to accomplish that. Yeah, all right. I'll give him that. He's also a guy that failed with prime LeBron countless times, too.
Oh, no.
But I think we can all agree that the Cavs front office really was the reason why they failed. Prime LeBron failed early on.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's move on to the top team in the East. We've brought them up a little bit throughout this, but what about the Pistons? What makes us feel that they're not the top contender in the East? Is it just because they're young? Is there inexperience?
All the above. I mean,
all the above, he says.
Yeah, they're playing great. They have the top seed right now, up 5.5 games. But when we get into the playoffs, this is going to be almost the whole team first year in the playoffs, aside from Tobias Harris, your favorite, Duncan Robinson, one of my favorites. Man, they just collect all the players we don't like, don't they? Say.
Well, they made it last year, so Cade has some, and they have some experience, but
true, but they didn't make it that far. Not far enough to have valuable playoff experience. So maybe this year is the year that changes. I mean, with how well they played so far this year, maybe they don't care about the inexperience. They just go out there, play whoever's in front of them any given night. But it's not like there's no competition to them. I mean, they got a lot of tough teams to run through. And while I think the Pistons, given their seeding right now, they'll probably advance out of the first round. I could almost confidently say that. But then what happens in the next round? When they have to play one of those better teams.
When everything gets more tense. That's because the biggest thing with the Pistons is who outside of Cade strikes fear into you. Now, this year, it has been Jalen Duren. He's had a very big breakout year. He's in the final year of his deal in Detroit. He's averaging 18 points a game, 10.5 rebounds. He's had a very good year.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Ashur Thompson. He's had a fine year, but he's not a shooter. He's a good he's a solid defender. He's a willing shooter, but he's not he's a 20% three-point shooter. He's barely a 58% free throw shooter. So
I'll segue us into Duncan Robinson. If you're looking for him to put your team on his back and get you like 30 points to pull out a win, good luck. Good luck. I mean, he's averaging 12 points a game. He's probably averaging like 4 3-pointers scored a game too.
Dustin makes a great point here, and 2 of those 3 teams aren't even close to contenders.
Yeah, no.
No offense.
No, they're not. I mean, they're playing for the 8th seed right now. That's where they're going to end up. They'll have their annual play-in match. They'll win that, secure the 8th seed, and then lose in the first round.
Dustin, them having over 60 career playoff games doesn't mean crap.
We can confidently say that for both players.
The last time that the guy on the top there, the last time I saw him in a playoff game in a Sixers uniform, he had 0 points.
And you know, Duncan Robinson probably did too, or close to it. He might have like 3.
At least Duncan Robinson can shoot a decent percentage from 3, man. Tobias Harris can't do crap.
Yeah, I guess. He's doing something for him. He's averaging 13.5.
Ooh.
Doing something.
Awesome. I don't care.
I mean, let's see. Duncan Robinson, 40% from 3. Tobias Harris, 35% from 3. Tobias Harris better from the free throw line. That's probably where he makes his money at.
Okay, Tyler, your turn. Here we go. Oh, here wait, hold on. There's the better one. There we go.
You know what he does, Dustin? He steps up and scores more points, but he gives up double.
He's. I still go that to being the point of if Duncan Robinson has to be relied on to be your second to third best player, you're probably not that great of a team.
Yeah. And it's shocking that we're saying that about the team that has the best record by a decent margin right now.
But again, if you're looking at it right now, Cade is the best player, Duran is the second best player, and then I guess your third and fourth
I'd say Tobias.
Well, it could be switched off between Tobias. Yeah. We saw a team try to play with Tobias Harris as their third best player. We saw a team try to play with Tobias Harris as their second best player.
I will say, Duncan Robinson has the most games played and started for the Pistons this year so far.
Well, I would say the third best player is probably Ashore Thompson. Even with the shooting inefficiencies, I think he's probably their third best player. Robinson and Harris are perfect role players. They space the floor, they provide veteran leadership, and they shoot, and that's what they're asked to do.
And I'm sure Thompson's probably at least has to be a little bit better of a defender than Duncan Robinson.
He's one of the better perimeter defenders in the game. He's averaging 2 steals a game.
There we go. That's what makes him the third best player on that team.
Dustin, I don't even know if Victor plays defense. I just think he's so damn tall, he has no choice but to.
Yeah, I mean, when you're that tall, it makes it easy. Just put your hands up.
I want to see T.J. McConnell attempt a mid-range jump shot against Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, dear. Good luck.
But he's kind of right. I mean, the second best defensive team in the West is the Rockets, and they're giving up 110. Like, how's that good?
Yeah, that is true.
I see what Dustin's saying with this, though. I do agree with him. So,
but that's just my thing. I mean, cool. Duncan Robinson, he might, turn it on in the playoffs. But he also gives up a lot on the other end of the floor.
Why are we trying to piss me off so much tonight?
Paul Reed is the third best player. Yes. Paul Reed playing 13 minutes per game. And averaging almost
B-ball
points. That's his name, B-ball Paul.
Oh, Dustin's got a better one. Let's see Spud Webb or Muggsy try to post it.
You know what? Let's make it a little bit more realistic. Let's see Nate Robinson. How about that?
You could stack the three of them on each other's shoulders, and they're probably still 3 feet shorter. Wembanyama is just freaking ridiculously tall, and it's crazy. Is there any other team in the East that you think could make any noise in this situation?
Honestly, no. I mean, from here, you got Toronto, the Sixers, and then Orlando and Miami at the 7 and 8. Neither of those two teams are going to see the conference finals. That's there's 0% chance of that happening.
Orlando should be better.
They should.
But Wagner's been hurt. Banchero has not developed. Banchero's a good player, but he is still not a great
flashes, but he's not there yet.
The outside shooting needs to get better. If that doesn't get better, then they could be in trouble. He's still a good player.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. Not Mac McClung.
Oh, no.
For the Sixer legend, even though he never played a game with them.
But yeah, I mean, for argument's sake, let's take a quick look at the Raptors. Brandon Ingram, leading scorer, 22 points per game. Scotty Barnes he's averaging 19. RJ Barrett averaging 18. They have solid. Here's the thing with the Raptors. They have a solid, well-rounded team, but it lacks on the bench, and they don't really have a superstar. They just have some really good players and good players.
I agree. They've got a very good team, but it's not great. Like, they have very good players, but like they don't have a Cade Cunningham. They don't have a Jalen Brunson. They don't have a Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And Dustin said that that's his wild card in the East. Because he's surprised at how well they've played. And he even said, look at this one. The Hornets could give Boston or Detroit a series. The Hornets actually, as of late, have been picking it up a little bit. I mean, they're still 27-31, but they are playing pretty well. I mean, LaMelo's having another fine year. He was averaging 19 a game, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. How much of a series do I think they could give a team? That's to be determined, but
I feel like if the Raptors still had a healthy Fred VanVleet on this roster that's constructed right here, I think they could definitely be like top 3 seed.
Yeah, it's a shame he went to the Rockets.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were the Knicks and the Raptors, if I was the Knicks, if I was the Raptors, well, no, because it has to do with the Knicks. If they had OG over RJ Barrett, I would like them so much more.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of playing like similar to each other right now.
Barrett's not the defender that OG is. Come on,
yeah,
now.
That is true. He's not.
And then, so you would be saying that you think VanVleet would be a better fit than Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly's playing pretty solid. I mean, he's averaging 17 and 6.
I mean, I'm looking. Who's this team's number 2? Like, shooting guard.
They really don't. It's Barrett.
Because I mean, I see a bunch of forwards on this damn starting 5.
It's Barrett, Ingram, and Barnes are basically your starting 3 out there, and then you have Quickly, and then in their starting center is Jakob Poeltl when he's healthy. Does that help you out a little bit?
A little bit. Nah, hey, why not have Quickly and VanVleet out there?
VanVleet's not on the team.
Oh, I know. If he was on a team, I'm saying, why not? Throw them both out there. Screw it.
Dustin said Hornets are the hottest team in the East besides Detroit. Yeah, Con Canupel should probably be Rookie of the Year. And Dustin said, add OG and Pascal Siakam back on the Raptors in this group, and they could be deadly. But who is Siakam replacing? Would Siakam replace Ingram or Barnes? I
don't know if I wanted to replace Ingram. Ingram's probably one of their best players.
Ingram is their best player.
Yeah.
Still averaging at 22 a game. I think Ingram's been a very solid player throughout his career. I just don't think I would say he's lived up to the... People think he hasn't lived up to that number 2 pick potential, but I mean, when you're picked number 2 and Ben Simmons is picked number 1, do you really think you haven't lived up to that potential? I
think he's exceeded. One guy's now. Trust me, Ben Simmons set the bar so low, he's already exceeded it.
He set the bar so low, he's trying to become a professional fisherman. That's how bad basketball was to him.
Oh, man. Can't wait to watch him hurt his back casting the pole.
Well, hey, you know what they always said about him shooting? He couldn't hit water if he fell in the ocean, so now we're going to test that theory.
He's going to fall in the damn ocean.
Do I have to bring up my team at all during this show? I really don't want to.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I've
already made peace of where my team is, Sam. And your team, honestly, your team isn't too far off from mine. We're literally a half game behind you guys.
Well, that's because my best player is hurt again, and my third best player is freaking suspended.
Yeah.
Can we just please come to an agreement that this is why I'm going to continue to say it doesn't matter how well he's playing. Joel Embiid has to be traded.
And I'm going to say, I don't care about all the potential of Tyler Hero. He has to be traded because he's another one. He's played a total of 13 games this year. They had to wait for him to get healthy. Then he came, played for a couple weeks, got hurt again. What the hell are they supposed to do with that? You know what? Screw it. I'm taking the risk. Trade him for Ja.
God.
Get him in that Miami Heat culture. See if we can change him around. Hey, we straightened Jimmy Butler out for a few years.
Jimmy Butler's issues and Ja Morant's issues are two completely different things.
Tomato, tomato, you know.
Putting him in Miami where there's a bunch of extracurricular activities, I'm not sure if that's the best fit.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you on that one. It was a nice thought, all right.
But like, this is the problem that I'm always going to have. Tyrese Maxey, yes, can be the best. Is the best player on the team. But where are we getting to this point where we're at this point again where I don't know when Joel Embiid is available. And it's not, you can't go into a season where every 2 to 3 weeks, you don't know when this guy's going to be available. Because now somehow let me make sure I phrase this right for the people at home. Joel Embiid has missed the last 3 games to open the second half. Now, he missed the last 2 games of the first half due to some knee soreness. Somehow, during his week off from the All-Star break, during his right knee injury management program, he now developed right shin soreness and has now missed the last 3 games. What in the bloody name of God is going on around this? This is every year. It will never matter. The only way you will get Joel Embiid healthy to the postseason is if you, first of all, you got to make the postseason. You have to literally not play him for the entire regular season. That's the only way you're ever going to get Joel Embiid to the playoffs healthy. Because you can't do it. Can't do it. The guy's getting older and the body is still failing him. This is what I'm saying. If you are going to build around, well, first of all, you should be building around Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe because VJ Edgecombe is a player. That boy stepped up in the Target Center last night against Anthony Edwards. It was dropping buckets. 6 for 7 from 3.
And honestly, where the Sixers need to try and strengthen themselves in, they need to get themselves a good scoring forward. I mean,
we have one. He's suspended.
To get younger. That keep getting younger. Paul George isn't going to be that long-term option. If we're talking build around Maxey, that's not the answer.
This team has no freaking front court at all. Kelly Oubre is what he is. Dominic Barlow's fine. Andre Drummond's still grabbing 80 rebounds, but he stinks. Even though he's popping corner threes now all of a sudden.
Oh, he's added that to his arsenal, I see.
But actually, just so I get the number right, because I don't have it. I don't have it directly in front of me. He's shooting 37% from 3.
Wow.
What world do I live in?
Anthony, trade him to the Bucks.
Well, to be fair, there's probably a reason why Giannis is not a member of the Miami Heat, and it's probably because they were reluctant to trade him to the Bucks.
Yeah.
But I have this conversation with Matt and Brian all the time. Oh, Embiid's playing great. Yes, that's awesome. And then he's going to get hurt, and then he's going to be out for weeks, and you're not going to know when he's available. He'll play 1 game, then he'll be out for 3. This is not fair to Tyrese Maxey, where you are basically throwing games because you don't know who's available for you every night.
Yeah.
This is like I said, I would have traded Embiid for the best package available of available players. You can build, and everyone always criticizes, oh, Maxey field goal percentage stinks every night. He's shooting 8 for 21. Well, yeah, that's because the guy's exhausted because he has to play 48 minutes a game. Tyrese Maxey is the anti-version of what Joel Embiid and Paul George are. He plays every minute of every game, and he shoots 8 for 21. Well, yeah, if I had to play 9,000 straight damn minutes, my legs be tired.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're wasting Maxey and Edgecombe because these two can't stay healthy or stay on the court consistently. And it's getting ridiculous. This is why I don't care that Joel Embiid for 30 games in the first half played well, because look, he's hurt again. The All-Star break and he's hurt. He was on a break and he got hurt.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the downfall of the Sixers. I mean, watch, he'll probably be back for the start of the playoffs. He'll get an injury late in the first round. I think they could probably advance still, but then the second round you're just going to see the fatigue come in.
No, don't say second round. Don't say it.
Second round. But yeah, I'm over Tyler Hero.
I'm over the Joel Embiid experiment. And look, Tyler, we've been doing 609 for 5 years. Nobody loved Joel Embiid more than me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just, it's never going to work. No matter how hard they try, no matter what injury management program, they couldn't do injury management during the All-Star break now without something happening. And for all these people, the regular season doesn't matter. Well, to get to the postseason, you kind of have to win games in the regular season to get there.
Yep.
Last time I checked, the 0-16 Detroit Lions didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Very true.
The entire thing is just frustrating. And, I don't know how you feel about it, but if I was this team, which, by the way, Joshua Harris, worst owner in Philadelphia, Daryl Morey has lived off that James Harden trade from OKC his whole career. If the Sixers were smart, they would try the best they can during the offseason to build this team around Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. Maxey is already a superstar. I think VJ is going to be a really good player. I mean, I just think he's going to be such a good ball player.
He is.
But
yeah,
you have no front court depth. You have no bigs. You have no consistent shooting. You have nothing. So if I were them during the offseason, I would start to revamp, start getting younger, hit on some more draft picks. Because that's one thing we could say. They've hit on some good picks. They hit on Maxey. They hit on VJ.
Yeah. They hit on McCain.
Well, yeah, who they ended up trading. Yeah. Had to go to the tax now. Cheap bastard. Yeah, Joshua Harris has to get the Sixers under the tax so he can fund the Commanders' new stadium. We know how that goes. But the whole Sixers thing is just exhausting. I can't stand Nick Nurse. Maybe the worst coach I've ever... I thought Doc Rivers was bad.
I mean, come on, Sam.
No. They never came... No, hold on. I have never seen a basketball team this bad in every third quarter of every single game they play.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, we did get the return of the campaign.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He's actually played pretty solid since he came back. Hey, it beats seeing that player coach, Kyle Lowry, every night at age 40.
Man, he's still making the rounds.
Oh, Anthony, I'm not talking about your Commanders, but I'm telling you how bad of an owner you're going to have. You'll see it sooner than later. When it comes to spending to win, Joshua Harris is kind of stingy, so that old roster you have, probably going to stick with it.
It's going to get older.
Trust me, you and I will have a mutual agreement on that in the coming years, Anthony. It's not about your team, it's about your crappy owner.
Well, yeah, he's got to put all that money into the new stadium. So,
So, let's end the show on some tanking talk. Last week, a report came out that Adam Silver informed the league's 30 general managers that the NBA plans to make anti-tanking rule changes for next season. No, Anthony, you'll get a new stadium. You won't raise one banner in it.
Oh man!
Plus, you will raise one banner. Got new stadium.
Stadium opening.
So, this tweet is according to Shams, however you want to pronounce it. Multiple sources with knowledge of Thursday's GM meeting. Now, this was last week, as well as late January competition committee meeting told ESPN that the following concepts have been discussed to curb tanking. First round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14 plus. No idea how that helps. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. Teams cannot pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records instead of 1. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. Flatten odds for all lottery teams. I think we can kind of agree that there is a tanking issue in the NBA.
There is. That's a lot to unpack there. But I think the overall gist of it is Silver just wants to put his foot down and just be like, these teams can't purposely tank. Just don't do it. I don't know. That's going to be a lot to enforce. I feel like it's more so they just want to scare the GMs into not wanting to tank. If you're going to do it, if you're going to suck, don't make it so intentional. There's ways to make it less intentional. But benching your 2 best players every 4th quarter, it's intentional at that point.
First off, Anthony, don't do that. Come on, Anthony. You know I love you. Anthony, come on now. You know we know we love you. I just like to mess with you. But Anthony, like I said, we're gonna have a common agreement soon. You're can't stand Joshua Harris as much as I can. Trust me, it's gonna be great. Well, yeah, and then you see the Sacramento Kings. They've had 3 players in the past week. Oh, they're having season-ending surgery. DeAndre Hunter's having season-ending eye surgery. Where'd that come from?
Okay.
Jaren Jackson gets traded to the freaking Jazz, and a week into his Jazz tenure, he's getting this thing done to his knee that he's out for the season, but it'll prolong his long-term health. What? This stuff just pops out of nowhere now?
Apparently.
And that's the thing. And no, I think the big part is the problem is that we've had teams in the lottery for 5 straight years and they don't get better.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Just some teams' inability to scout and draft to build their rosters, it's a joke. 2 teams that we've seen successfully do it, OKC, the Pistons,
San Antonio
for sure.
Even all right, I know the process was laughed at a lot, but even the Sixers kind of did. When they started to get all right, it took a while to get to that point. Noel wasn't a great pick, Jahlil Okafor was not a great pick. Oh, I thought he was going to be a star. But Embiid came in. You started to see it. Even though we all have our opinions, in the beginning, Ben Simmons was a good player. It's just when the league caught up to him, he had no idea what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the Sixers' fault that Markelle Fultz got the yips. But that's the point, though. Like, if as long as you see teams improving, that's okay. But we're at the point now where, like, the Wizards have been in the freaking lottery for the past decade. It feels like. Anthony, don't ask me that because
it's funny he just said that. I don't know the number, but I literally just got a notification that Jokic is going to be playing through his wrist injury because he can only miss one more game to remain eligible for MVP.
Now, that's a player.
Yeah. That's a guy. All he wants to do is win basketball games and play with his horses. He's a simple man.
Oh, no, I think the bigger issue that we are having is there are teams, like we said, that are tanking and they're just sitting there. Like, they don't ever improve. Like the Spurs. Okay, they were there for a while, but look, they got Victor Wembanyama. Now they're the second best team in the West. OKC, they're still rebuilding and they just won the finals. Why? Because they have 21st round picks.
Yep.
So I'm not opposed to trying to. It's like baseball with these owners, like, oh, we can't afford anything. No, you just want to collect your revenue and not do anything with your money because you're greedy.
We've even seen another team, the Rockets, do it. Yeah, granted, they added in Kevin Durant, but I mean, there are a lot of other pieces that they drafted in to build that roster.
Yeah, they drafted Şengün. They drafted Torrey Easton. They drafted Jabari Smith.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do something about it because it's getting ridiculous. That the point is that there are teams that just are in the lottery every single year.
Sacramento,
Washington, and that's why I was never a Wizards fan. Well, Anthony, there should be a lot of reasons why you were never a Wizards fan. But it's something that something has to be done about it because I'm sick of watching the same NBA draft lottery. I feel like I'm watching the 2018 draft lottery on replay every year.
I can't remember the last NBA draft I watched.
It's just boring.
Yeah, it really is. It's too drawn out. And honestly, it seems like outside of like maybe the first 10 picks, if that, are actual like team changing players. The rest are just guys that might be, role players or could be developed into a star.
Yeah, or we could have another one of those situations like where the Sixers get Markelle Fultz and the Celtics get Jason Tatum.
Never know.
And it's like that. We were bringing up that year, right? Sixers took Ben Simmons, number 1. Lakers took Brandon Ingram. Mm-hmm. Do we remember who the number 3 pick in that draft was?
I do not recall.
Jaylen Brown.
Oh. Wow.
And a lot of people weren't, he's not developed enough. We don't know what he'll develop into. Oh, well, now look at him. He's a finals MVP and probably the best player out of those 3. Well, we know he's the best player.
Without question.
Well, we know he's better than the first guy.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons set this franchise back so many years. All we should do is shoot, man.
Shoot the ball, even if you missed. Just shoot it.
Yeah.
His defining moment was that playoff game where he was driving in, and I think he had a wide open layup, and he decided to try to pass it. I don't know I forget who he was passing it to.
Matisse Thybulle.
And then he ends up getting fouled going to the line, and then I think he misses like one or both. Oh, I made Sam relive too many bad moments. I'm sorry to make you relive that, Sam.
I still see it in my dreams. It's stuff like that makes me so grateful for Howie Roseman. Because if I didn't have Howie Roseman in my life, I would be the most miserable person you'll ever meet.
You would still have the Phillies, who give you joy up until a certain point every season.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about before I hit the breeze and kill this show?
Let's talk about the Flyers.
Oh, knock it off. My mother was in high school the last time they won.
Oh, no.
They were just celebrating George's 75th birthday. Come on.
75th. Oh, my gosh.
Anything else you want to add before we call it a night?
That's about all I got.
All right, guys. Big thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Unbiased. Got some nice NBA talk in over the past couple weeks. We're happy we got that done. Got to talk some Winter Olympics, mostly USA hockey. Be prepared, guys. Next Monday, NFL offseason preview. We're going to talk about some of the big things going around, some franchise tag stuff that's happened. Max Crosby's name's going to be out there. Illegal tampering is a week from next Monday on the 9th, so we'll spend all next week getting you guys ready for some good old-fashioned NFL free agency. So, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for everyone who threw their comments in. We appreciate it. Once again, we want to thank you all for picking us as your go-to for sports talk. We greatly appreciate it, and of course, we are trying to build something special here, and we can't do that without all of you guys. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Hope you guys are safe from the winter storm and whatever other winter storms are coming this week. I think there's 10 more feet coming on Wednesday. But anyway,
you stop.
Guys, stay cool, stay safe, stay warm. Have a great rest of your night. Hitting home, 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Dustin and I, we're talking some MLB lockout stuff. We got a new update on that. I believe this week is AL and NL West preview. And we're going to be talking some World Baseball Classic. And, of course, Eagles exclusive Birds of the Gridiron Friday at 8. Little Eagles stay or go in free agency we're going to be talking this week. So, guys, don't miss those shows. They're going to be awesome. And have a great night, and we will see you guys next time. For Tyler Adams, I am Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.
Sam, what did you do?